Okay.
Hello, and welcome to our first episode of Ask the Doctor. My name is Dr. Phil. I'm a chiropractor from West Sussex Chiropractic Clinic, and this is Dr. Mike. So today we're going to answer a stress. Someone asked us about stress and how that affects the body and how we can help to manage and reduce our stress and how that relates to chiropractic. So Mike, what can you tell us about stress?
Stress is one of the main reasons why people don't get better. So chiropractic can be great for all sorts of things, but what we find is people often go a certain way, they get a certain amount better, but if there's too much stress in their life that they're not able to deal with, then they don't really get the results that they want. And that's especially true when it comes to things like headaches or neck tension, but also it relates to all sorts of other health issues as well, like digestive problems as well.
Absolutely. So why does stress matter? What effect does it have?
Well, stress is actually a good thing in small doses. You need stress in order to give you an edge, to motivate you to do things. The whole point of stress is to drive you to overcome whatever obstacle is in front of you. But the problem is those obstacles aren't short term anymore. They don't just go away, because they can look like a hefty mortgage or a boss you don't like. No offense. Or a job you don't like, or politics or the news or anything that's constantly in the background that just continually piles this stress on. So that's why a lot of people aren't able to get rid of this the stress that they build up.
Yeah. So don't mention Brexit.
Don't mention Brexit, exactly.
So you got short-term stress and you got chronic stress. As Mike said, there's good stress. Good stress, think about going to the gym. You're lifting heavy weights, you're actually doing a tiny little bit of damage to your muscles, but that good stress helps your muscles then to grow with time. But you don't want to be lifting weights all day, every day, because that muscle damage will never have time to repair. So chronic stress is that stress that, as Mike said, just doesn't go away. And what science and research has shown is it puts us into the fight or flight response. So you may have heard of the fight or flight response. It's the body's response to stress or danger, i.e. essentially, that looks scary, that looks dangerous, I'm going to either prepare my body to fight it, or I'm going to run away. Mostly it's about running away. So if you think about when we were way back as hunter-gatherers, which Mike might remember, when we were older, and when we were hunter-gatherers, if you imagine you're going down to the stream, you're going to get a drink of water, it's just the morning, you're going to get a drink of water from the stream, and you look up, there's a saber-toothed tiger across the way. How's your body going to react?
You're going to get very, very tense. All the blood is going to go from your internal organs to your muscles to help you basically, most likely, you're not going to fight a tiger, but most likely run away. And all the long-term healing effects that are going on in your body are going to stop. Because you're not, when it comes to running away from a tiger, that's more important than fighting a cold or digesting what you had for lunch. Again, that's a short-term thing to get you out of a pickle in the moment. But if that carries on, then those long-term healing rest and digest, they call it, which is the opposite of fight and flight, doesn't really get a chance to do its job properly.
So in that moment, all the blood, as Mike said, is going out to your muscles so you can run away as quick as you can. The blood comes away from our internal organs, so that's why we get digestive issues, perhaps breathing issues, perhaps even reproductive issues, because in that fight or flight moment, your body's not going to be thinking about making a baby. Your blood pressure goes up to get that blood pumping out to all your muscles in your arms and your legs, and your cholesterol goes up. So it might seem a strange thing, well, why does your cholesterol go up? But actually cholesterol is used, or its purpose in the body is for blood clotting. So if the tiger does catch up with you and scratches you, you don't want to bleed to death where you are. So that links obviously to a lot of common problems that people have these days. As Mike mentioned, also your immune system shuts down. Your immune system, if you've ever had a cold, you often feel tired and drained, you just want to sleep and rest. So in that moment, you need as much energy as you can to escape the danger, and you don't want your immune system to be using up all your energy, so that actually shuts down. So common things that people suffer with these days, lots of colds, recurrent infections,
indigestion, acid reflux,
heartburn,
can't sleep,
high blood
headaches.
pressure, sleep. You're not going to sleep if there's a tiger in your bedroom.
Yeah.
So if your body's all stressed out, it's going to be hard to sleep. So sleep morale, organ dysfunction, high blood pressure, high cholesterol levels, all your common problems that people suffer with day to day.
Exactly. So how do we deal with stress? So we know that stress is a good thing unless it carries on all the time, in which case it stops you from making a full recovery and being as healthy as you can be.
And you can't always take stress away, of course. Life is inherently these days stressful. So as much as you want to manage it, you can't always take it away.
This is the big thing. This is the big important part of it, and this is also how it ties to chiropractic as well, because you can't always change the environment. You can't. Sometimes you can change what's going on. You can have a conversation with someone that needs to be had, or you can sort out the things that need to be sorted out, but it's not always possible to do that. So what's more important is how you, your mind and your body adapt to the stresses of the environment. And there's short-term and long-term strategies for that we can talk about, but then, well, one of the short and long-term strategies are chiropractic adjustments, because what we do when we adjust the spine is help the body to deal with the stresses of life a lot better. And Phil can tell you a bit more about that.
It's actually been shown in studies that the stress response is heightened when someone is what we call subluxated. So that's just a fancy chiropractic term for when your joints are not moving correctly or your spine's in misalignment. And they've done MRI scans, and when people have been adjusted, the stress response lowers. So having joints and areas of your spine which are not moving correctly creates inflammation, creates pressure and stress on your nervous system, and increases the stress response going on in your body. So it's actually one of the biggest things that causes stress in your body. That's why when we adjust people, and when they start to get better, obviously reducing pain helps to reduce stress, but often they say that tell us they sleep better or their digestion is improved. All kind of side effects of getting adjusted.
In fact, these side effects of getting adjusted are very interesting, because everyone responds differently to chiropractic adjustments, often in unexpected but positive ways. For example, I had a patient once who told me that since he'd been getting adjusted, he was diabetic. He was about 60 years old. He had to use less insulin, and he'd gone down to the diabetic nurse, and she'd actually said, right, we're going to lower your dose because you don't need as much anymore. Now, that could be because he wasn't in pain anymore, so his body was less stressed. Perhaps it was related to the actual effect of the adjustment. There's not enough studies on that yet, but these are the kind of things we see a lot of. People come in for back pain, but actually they also notice that other health benefits that they didn't expect.
Perhaps things that seem unrelated are more organic issues.
Yeah.
We also want to teach our patients about things you can do yourselves to help reduce stress or manage your response to stress in your lifetime. So what are some shorts and long-term things you can do to help?
I think that one of the easiest ways is to get out for a walk. It seems so simple, it often gets overlooked, but a lot of us eat our lunch at the desk, or we stay in the office all day in front of a screen or in a closed environment. Just first of all, taking yourself out of the same environment and just getting some fresh air, but also the physical act of walking helps to reduce blood pressure and improve circulation. It calms your mind, and even just the change of environment can sometimes make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, medical studies have shown that just walking in nature has to be as effective as antidepressants in people with depression. So it can make a big effect on the body. Anything else that people can do?
I just want to add on that. So you don't need walking in nature. If you don't have a forest nearby, it doesn't matter. Even if there's a green area, if a green space like a park or the beach or something like that, that can, just getting away from a little less man-made environment can really make a big difference. On top of that, of course, there's exercise. Not everyone's a fan of exercise, but it doesn't matter what it is, whether it's brisk walking or running or the gym, or
find something that you enjoy doing.
Find something you enjoy or don't mind doing, and because it makes such a difference. Anyone who exercises will tell you that afterwards they feel a lot better. Because you get these natural endorphins that help you feel good. They relax the muscles, flushes out the circulation, and generally just helps reduce your stress.
And actually, on a neurology basis, moving joints sends positive information up to the brain.
Yeah.
So that's from proprioception. Receptors in your joints are constantly feeding back to the brain, so that's actually positive. So you can sit on the sofa all day and feel tired.
Yeah.
And get up and go for a walk, and actually feel like you've got more energy, even though you've used energy.
Yeah.
So actually, it's very positive. And you were telling me as well about breathing.
Yeah. So abdominal breathing. So there's like a hack in the body. There's a way of tricking the body into having less stress, and that's through taking some deep abdominal breaths. So most of us, when we breathe, what we do is we lift the shoulders too much, tensing the neck muscles, and it looks like this, if you were, especially to take a deep breath. But actually that's the opposite of the way that we're designed to breathe. What we're supposed to do is use the diaphragm, which is this sheet of muscle here, pulling the diaphragm down to expand the abdomen, bringing the air down. What that does is stimulates a nerve in the body called the vagus nerve. So the vagus nerve calms everything down. the easiest way to stimulate the vagus nerve is with deep abdominal breathing. So it's very simple. You only need to do it 2 or 3 times, and it looks like this. So put your hands on your tummy. That's it. So you've got to allow your tummy to come out of this. You can't suck it in. Okay. Take a deep breath like this, feeling the breath go down. So instead of lifting the shoulders, down it goes. Like that. If you put your hands on here, you get the feedback from your stomach, so you can feel it happening. We'll do that once more. Like I say, even 2 or 3 times, and you'll find that you just feel a bit calmer. Even now, I feel a bit calmer from just a few seconds ago. Makes a big difference, and it takes about 30 seconds to do.
And what you notice is that Mike's chest didn't rise and fall so much. There was more coming through the stomach.
Yeah, exactly.
Another couple of tips are, one of the things we like to practice is gratitude and mindfulness. So sometimes you think about mindfulness, hippies and all a bit airy-fairy, but it's very much more coming into the mainstream now. It's simply about not worrying about what's coming up or what's been before. A lot of the time we spend time worrying about, well, that person who cut me up in traffic or that meeting I've got with the boss. But unless you can actually take action to change what's happening, that's just stress. And worry is the biggest, sort of one of the biggest forms of stress out there as well. So if you can practice mindfulness, which is even just day-to-day being in the moment, but then also there's some apps like the 𝗏𝗶𝗃 app, which is very popular these days, where you can just help you to practice mindfulness. Spend 5-10 minutes every day, find somewhere to relax at home and just spend 10 minutes trying to just clear your mind, breathe, take deep breaths, and the apps can help to talk you through a 10-minute program of just mindfulness. So you can help to clear out some of the stress, because worrying about things is one of the biggest stresses of what we can have.
Yeah.
Another way to change, so obviously these days there is a lot of things going on in the news and in the world that are not so good. There is actually lots that's good to think about as well. So we would like to practice something called gratitude. So rather than spending time reading newspapers, listening to the news, which, when was the last time you heard a positive news story on the radio or anything like this? So we like to talk about gratitude, which is simply the process of, at the end of every day, take a little bit of paper or have a booklet and just write down 3 things that you were grateful for in that day. It doesn't have to be big things. I think the stat is that less than 5% of the world's population have access to a shower. So if you had a shower that day and you smell nice and fresh, you can be grateful. It might be a hug you got off your child, it might be something you achieved at work, it might be that you got out and went for a walk. What they found is that it's not actually the things you write down so much, but it's spending that 5-10 minutes thinking about your day in a positive way, especially before you go to bed, so it primes in that positive mental feeling and that gratitude. So you just do that for 21 days. And there was a study in America that showed that within 21 days you can change how you think. So instead of thinking about negative and what's bad could happen, you start to think more positively. Without going too deep, there's something called your reticular activating formation, which is that thing that if you ever go to buy a car, if you go and buy a Mini, say, you come out the Mini dealership and suddenly you see Minis everywhere. Yeah. Because your brain is wired to pick out things that your subconscious thinks it's important to you. Yeah. So if you put negative into there, then you're going to go around looking for negative and you're going to get stress and you're going to feel that stress. Whereas if you put positive, then you're going to go around looking for more positive things. So you're going to notice the good stuff more. Exactly. Yeah. And that can help again to reduce your stress levels. Absolutely. Great. Okay. Perfect. So thank you for listening. I hope you took some value from this. Remember, one of the biggest forms of stress is having a spine that's not moving correctly or is in misalignment and having pain or symptoms from that. Although it may just be postural stress that's affecting it. So if you want to find out more about chiropractic, then give us a call, leave us a message. We're happy to speak to you. Pop into the clinic. We're here in Southgate in Crawley, and we'd be happy to help with any issues that you have. Great. Thanks for watching. Thanks for watching. See you next time.